Greetings. Can you hear me? I'm just doing a test on this because it was playing up a wee bit there. I was just putting some new software on, so I just wanted to make sure it was. I see Westover in there. Wes, can you hear me okay? Is the volume okay? Because 1 minute the camera was acting up, the next minute was the something else. Let me just adjust this. Right, this camera. There we are. So let me know if you can hear me, Wes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Sammy? Yeah. Okay, seems to work. I was meant to be on at 4, but I had problems, so nobody probably knows. So Westover, if you can tell the folk over there at Discord, the boys that I'm on here, if they want to pop in and see us. So there we are. Okay, don't see anybody in at all. So we'll wait and see. Let me see if that's came up. I'm not sure if I'm on that or on that. I'm having a bit of software problems today. I hate technology. Absolutely despise it. So sorry I'm late. I was meant to be on at 4, my normal time. But we put this new camera thing in. It was playing up a wee bit. Andy Layton, he's that light green writing I can hardly see. But who's in? Westover's in. Yes, you can hear me okay. Mitch Cameron, how you doing, Mitch? Nice to see you. Yes. Andy Layton, I think. I wish don't try and use all that green colour because it's almost you can't see it on the background here. And Vince Roberts, how you doing? Nice to see you. Any of you lads that are on the Discord, pop in and tell them that we're actually on. I know Ewan put a link up earlier, but I couldn't get it to work at that time. But we're on now anyway. Anyway, some interesting things to look at, isn't there? Because, we've got this whole carry on with Greenland, which we need to look at. And Zelensky's said some very interesting things about it. I'll tell you about in a minute. Very interesting indeed. Let me read you from Psalm 133. Psalm 133, hear ye the Lord. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for the brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like a precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, and went down to the skirts of his garments. As the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descends upon the mountains of Zion, for there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Amen. And we know the Lord will add his blessing upon this, the public reading of his infallible, inspired, and inerrant word. And the people of God said, Amen. Amen indeed. Yes, it's a wonderful thing. Behold how good and how pleasant it is for the brethren to dwell together in unity. And that's a very important thing because, you see there's so much disunity and nonsense about these days. I see all the time. We've always been blessed with the temples that have been in good unity, or we've thrown the folk out that were against unity. No, we've had some, yourself, in the last couple of months, we've had some real crazies try to join the order. And I pride myself that we have good team of people who vet them. The amount of people, that crazy people have tried to join, as you well know, has been incredible. Some real loon balls. Really wackos. But that's what it is. And a lot of these people who are constantly self-appointed, I think the Orthodox don't have this, right? The Roman Catholics don't have it. They're getting a wee bit of it now, but they don't have it as a norm. It's the Protestant world. Somebody just wakes up one day and says, I think I'll be a minister, I think I'll be a reverend, yes, or a bishop. They just wake up and declare, and then they go online and buy these ridiculous forms of ordination online. What is that all about? The ministry is a very serious thing. You should have to study for years and you have to be, looked at and know your stuff and know what you're talking about and all the rest of it. They haven't a clue. And it just shows a complete disregard for the things of God. In my opinion, I think it's just taken on far too light, these self-appointed people. And of course, when the media always want to have a go at me, like the other week they wrote a story about me, they said, self-appointed reverend. I ain't self-appointed. I was ordained in a proper church, the Reformed Congregational Church. We're one of the most senior men in the country, or UK anyway. So, but these people who do this, I think it shows great disregard to the office of the ministry and to the gospel of Christ himself. But a guy joined quite recently, and he was talking to me, and I recommended him. He went to study, and straight away he's enrolled in Ever now. He's on a really good course. One I recommended to him, excellent course. He's doing systematic theology, Old and New Testament, and that's the difference. That's a man who just takes things serious, and I think that's where we need to be. I'm just fed up with these people who don't take it seriously. But anyway, Who else have we got in here? How do I alter the font colour? Oh, I don't know. You're asking the wrong person, Andy. Somebody tell Andy, help Andy alter the font colour. That's a hell of a colour. Very good much. How you doing? Nice to see you. John Kopasaki, Orthodox definitely don't have that. No, you don't. It's you don't, John. I know. It's crazy stuff. It's just it's insane. But we see it all the time. We just see it all the time. And you know, I say for people, where is this ordination from? It's some weird thing online. It's not acceptable, you know. The last guy I saw at the place, it was the ordaining people online was ordaining dogs. They ordained Lady Gaga. They ordained pets. But the Satanists and all sorts. It's just craziness. Good stuff. Yeah, excellent. And you get that sorted because I don't know how to adjust the things anyway. But we've been battering on. I mean, there's not a lot of folk in because I don't think a lot of people knew we're going to be here today. But we're cracking on with the work at a pace because I don't have any videos for us today. I just deleted all the videos because I didn't know, but I've got a couple. But I want to show you a couple of pictures. Look at this here. Have a wee look. There we go. That's 4-inch packing in the rafters. In fact, I should have said to Josh about tinfoil down first. Should have said to him about that. You should know by now. Anyway. And that's the dining room. Okay, and see you later. That's the dining room. I don't know if you can hear me while I'm on there. I don't know. Roddle's there. How you doing? Good day, Ken. How you doing? So that's the dining room. Now, it was concrete. The whole building's concrete. But I decided if you're going to be sitting in the dining room and you're sitting there for a while, I don't like your feet on a concrete floor. It can get cold, especially in this part of the world. So what I've done, we had all this wood salvaged. So George put it down. So these are 3x2 sleepers, and then these are 4x2 over the top of it. So, you know, you're well insulated off the ground. And, of course, we'll put this insulation. This is all going underneath there. Then we'll put the bubble on top of it. And there's a fireplace going to be over on the far end. Can you see me when I'm got this on? Can you? Oh, okay, so the fire's going to go away in that other end, but we have to batter that wall out to make a chamber for the fire. So we have to take it out about a foot there. Be a bit of an aggravation, but Big George will get it done. And then we'll have all that done, and it'll be tickety-boo and a lot better than it was before. So there we go. So that's that. And that is up the stairs. And oh, wait a minute. That's up the stairs in one of the ensuite. That's the ensuite's through that wall. This is the dressing room. But this is that floor there straight to the outside. That's in the arch, you know, above as you walk into the building. That's the arch. So that's outside. So we have to put this insulation there. And what we'll do is we'll put bubble on top of it to make sure it's nice and warm. So there we go. This dog's behind me. Look, this dog. Look. What are you doing up here? There she is. She's recovered. Cost me £600. About $800 last week. She bit through a cable here, got electrocuted. Then she ate a mouldy apple and it gave her toxic poisoning. And she stayed at the vets overnight, didn't you? And you cost me £600, you cheeky dog. And it's a lot of money. But anyway, what can you do? Hugh do Costello, how you doing? Good evening, brother. Excellent. Well enough to see the show. Good man yourself, Hugh. Nice to see you. And I hope Glasgow's doing it. I watched the programme last night in Glasgow in the late 60s, early 70s. That was a lie, I remember it. When I were knocking all the slums down. My goodness, you couldn't believe it. Duke Street, for example, where you've got a quarter Jill and a Loudon Bar, that was 4-story tenements on top of these buildings. I remember them. I think I remember them. I'm not sure. But there we are. So we're really cracking on at a pace. But here, I wanted to show you this. Look at this here. Right? Look at this map here. There you go. That was America, 1945, white. Okay? And mainly white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, to be honest. Look at it. Now. Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong one, is it? Oh, where's the other picture? I've only got one of them, it seems. 1945. Oh, I don't have it. I don't have the other pictures. Maybe two pictures. Oh, for goodness sake. Anyway, it's 48% now, not 90. It's 48%. So you went from 90 to 48 since the war. 90% white Christians to 48% white Christians. Do you see what I mean? Everybody looks at Britain and thinks, you know, the writing's on the wall for us. The writing's on the wall for you too, my American friends. A big difference. And don't you just know it? Don't you just know it? John, Andy says, you too, John. Bishop Mary, the Orthodox preacher, is a great guy. Yeah. He is. He's a very good guy. I mean, he stabbed. Remember last year? He stabbed. He's in Australia, isn't he? But I mean, this is the thing. But you've got, these are, very learned. I wouldn't put myself in the same category as that gentleman. He's much more learned than me. But it's the lack of respect for people just deciding they're in the ministry and that's it. And it's not good. Now, it doesn't make say everybody in the ministry is a great guy. That's not the case either. But if you don't have the wit or the wherewithal or the respect to go through that process and you just buy something online, it's not really acceptable, is it? So that's what shall we make a donation to the Magdalene Chapel in the next few weeks? Excellent. Few things to do. Absolutely. We've always got things to do. That's the way it is. That's the way the world is. Now, the big problem, we just get the abortion figures in, and last year Britain killed 300,000 babies. Now, that's up in the last 10 years from like 150,000. Now it's up to 300,000. And this is the problem with Europe. Here's the attitude of Europe. I hope I've got this. I don't know how this thing works. Let me see. So the question was asked, it's a duty towards society to have children. So green is agree, and then in various degrees, the greener it is, the more you agree. And red is disagree, and the more red it gets, the more you disagree. Just look at it. Is that Finland there, or is that Sweden? What is that big country? That's Sweden. So if Ewan's about, he'll know that. That's Sweden. Sweden is absolutely obsessed with saying no, and there's Holland. Holland's the same. I mean, Britain and Ireland are much better, but these are particularly really, really strong against it. And of course, the people who agree with that, Portugal a wee bit. You've got all the Slavic countries, all the Orthodox countries, they're fine. That's Romania there. You've got other countries there, not too bad. Greece, obviously. Not too bad. But look at France and Germany. The Netherlands is obsessed, Norway, and then you've got Sweden really bad, and Britain very bad indeed. So that's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at. Really sad, isn't it? Really sad. And that's the problem. It is a duty towards society to have children. If you don't have children, we won't have a society. We won't exist. But this is the problem. And for some strange and bizarre reason, the Nordic countries, the Saxon countries are by far the worst. They're just obsessed with not having children. I think it's that Malthusian kind of attitude. And I've got to say, this is a theme that runs especially in Protestants, where they think they're virtuous or they think they're holy because they only have 2 children. And it's only these Roman Catholics or Muslims or people like that who have 5 or 6 kids. This is the stupidity that Protestants have got themselves into. And you can see it. Britain, Germany, Sweden, Norway, really bad for it. This is a madness. And we need to break out of this madness because this will kill us quicker than cancer. And it is. It's absolutely destroying us. But that's something we just need to work on. And try and convince people that it's virtuous. In the old days, it was classed as a great honor and a great blessing to have children, and you were regarded as a fantastic man if you had loads of children, and a mother, elevated, put in a pedestal because you had loads of children. Now people get sniffed at. When Sammy and Sarah were having a wee baby, people were saying, "What age? You're 19 having a baby? Oh, you want to do that again?" And Sarah's like, "No, I'm going again right away." What? You want to have 2 babies? You want to have 2 children? What else would you have? A dog? A car? A foreign holiday? I mean, seriously, this is a living, breathing human being that you want to bring into the world. The creation of God, the Father, you want to bring into the world. What is wrong with people? And I'm talking about Christians. And while I'm on it, let's have this out. Contraception. Contra against conception. The conception is when God breathes in a human being and that little life is sparked. Okay, they used to call it the quickening. That's conception. It's from God, right? We're in the mechanical process, but it's a miracle of God. God sparks that life into that child, that baby. The minute it's conceived, a one cell zygote hit with a sperm, it's a human being. We're soul, everything, period. That's it. Contraception is against conception. Therefore, contraception is against God's plan, because God brought man and woman together to join in unity to bring forth offspring, to be fruitful, to multiply. Now, even hardcore Protestant churches, even Reformed churches say, "Oh, no, between a married man and a married woman, couple, husband and wife, it's up to them. It's for them to plan the family." Oh, really? What about asking the divine God, the Father Almighty in heaven to plan our families? Would that not be better? Surely. But no, even good, decent churches say, oh, no, you know better. You know better than the Creator. And this is a big problem. And I get into terrible trouble with it because I'm really struggling to find any other Protestants who think like this. Now, lots of Roman Catholics think like this. Lots of Orthodox think like that. Very few Protestants, even the good ones, think like that. And this is a problem that needs to be addressed. But maybe for another show. The Muslims 3 times the birth rates than Norwegian people in Norway. It's crazy. What does that say? Bidsom. Good day, Jim, from over here in British Columbia. Good stuff. British Columbia. Yes, your king is the same as mine, unfortunately, at the moment. But I never knew that until recently. The king is the king of 3 billion people. Donald Trump's the president of 300 million. The king, King Charles, is the king of 3 billion. 3 billion. Is that 3,000 million? Or 300 million? I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's an awful lot of people anyway. But yeah, so we're looking at today to the wait a minute. I think there's another picture there, just to make sure I've not missed that. I think that's the same picture, so let's not worry about it. Let me see in a minute. That's the big red cross thing. We've seen that. Anyway, we're looking today because Zelensky's come out and said he supports Denmark's sovereignty over Greenland. Well, he would, wouldn't he? So let's look at this, because I'm going to tell you, my American friends, this is really freaking us out in Europe. This is freaking us out, this carry on with Trump and Greenland. This is freaking us out. And you're maybe too close to see just how crazy this is, or it sounds to other people. So America is a sovereign nation, okay? Greenland is part of the Danish kingdom. Whether you like kingdoms or you don't, that's the way it is. It's just, I suppose it's like, what's that place? Puerto Rico, Mr. Trump says that's part of America, but it's not really, it's a kind of part of the American empire. Well, it's the same with Greenland. Greenland is part of the Danish empire. Denmark is a sovereign country. Sovereign country. So when one sovereign country says to another sovereign country, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take your stuff. It's like Argentina done with us. Argentina took the Falklands off us. We went to war with them. It's outrageous. The Treaty of Westphalia, 1868, decided that no longer were we going to do these things. We're going to recognise each other's boundaries and recognise each other's sovereignty as nations and control of their own affairs. And might was not always right. Just because you could do something, you were strong to do something, you wouldn't do it. It was basically cutting down national bullying. One big powerful country at the time was Britain. It was to stop us bullying smaller countries, and America and Germany from bullying smaller countries. And that's what it's all about. Because America can't take Greenland, and nobody in this world can stop them. Nobody. They're too strong. They're too powerful. But that's like somebody in the schoolyard can pick on the wee, skinny, weak guy. Big, strong bully. Does it make it right? Of course it doesn't. And this kind of carry on where President Trump now is saying, if we don't agree with him taking somebody else's property, he's going to put taxes on us in Europe. Britain, 10%, rising to 25%. This would cause chaos and great poverty in this country, and maybe even affect us, because everything we send out to America, we'd have tariffs on it. So it's a very, very dangerous thing. However, I'm going to look at it in a more pragmatic way. America understands very well, and I understand it, that China and Russia could encroach on America via Greenland. Okay, Greenland. Sorry, did I say Iceland earlier? Yep. So John Kopasaki saying, for 80 years, America's benefit of American military. Yep, absolutely. Economic power. We contributing little. Absolutely, I agree with it. We cannot serve upon an open Arctic. Yes, I agree with you. Okay, yes, absolutely. If he wants to commit a permanent full-time presence, go ahead. But they won't, so we will. Well, we're not talking about that. But we're not talking about a full-time military presence in Greenland. I'd be all for that. So would everybody in Europe. If America wants to put 10,000 soldiers there and but Europe say, you're having 10,000 soldiers there, and you're sharing the cost to put all the batteries and the defense systems there, 100%. So I get that. But that's the exact same argument Russia uses against Ukraine. Because Russia said Ukraine, which was filled by American weaponry, is encroaching on our borders. We cannot have this. We cannot have a country in our borders with American NATO weapon systems and all the rest of it. We can't have this. This is getting too dangerous. And if you look at Russia, we are surrounding them everywhere. So It was bad when Russia did it. Russia said, no, we can't have this. This big landmass next to us is getting filled up with the enemy, and we're very nervous because they're right in our border, so we have to invade. Okay, do you agree? Same with Greenland. I understand America cannot have this big, massive landmass on their northern flanks where China and Russia could use it to damage America. 100%, I get it. It's the exact same as Russia and Ukraine. A lot of Americans don't get that. They don't understand that. It's the exact same. Because to us, we're the good guys. Britain, America, we're the good guys. To Russia, we're the bad guys. Okay? But so you get into their brain, they're looking at a landmass right next door to them, which is bristling with Western armaments, all pointing at Russia. So they've said no, so they went into Ukraine. America is looking at Greenland and thinking that could be bristling with Russian and Chinese armaments, so we can't have that. I get it. Okay, so what do? It still doesn't give America the right to get in and take somebody else's sovereign territory. Where does that end? That is sending shockwaves through the rest of the world. I know you don't understand because you're very isolated in America and insulated. I'm telling you, this is really bad. And this is really, really serious. Really serious. Every country in Europe is looking at this with horror and thinking, good grief, what are we dealing with here? It's not on. If Donald Trump said, right, we demand that we're putting troops there, whether you like it or not. We're not stealing your country, but we're going there. It's still your country, but we are putting troops there and batteries and all the rest of it. And we would much appreciate if the rest of the NATO countries would pull their finger out and spend what they should be spending, because America's been carrying Europe for years. We know this. I mean, Germany spends nothing in defense, near the, these France, useless Britain as well. So America should say, right, you want a fair settlement with this? For every billion we spend, you guys in Europe spend. And for every soldier we put in Greenland soil, you put one. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Everybody be happy at that. Everybody be saying, all right, fair enough, we have to do it. But actually talking about buying a country or just taking a country by force is not good. It's not good, because Norway's our friends, they're our friends. They had a hard time during the war as well, the Norwegians, and they fought very well. So we have to look at that. It's not good. It's really causing a lot of trouble here. And not just here, but right across the West. People are horrified with this. Now, I don't know whether Trump's bluffing or he's no bluffing. Who knows? But we'll see. Now, let's see what some of you are thinking of this. Let me see. Let me see. Now, where do we get here? Yes, John says, for years they've been carrying Europe. Absolutely. And I've said before, Europe needs to stand its own 2 feet. And if I was America, I'd have pulled the plug in the money years ago and said, you want to finance NATO at a fair rate? Finance it. 5, 6, 7% of your GDP. Countries in NATO are paying 0.5% of their GDP. They're jokers. But if something happens, they want America to come and defend them and bail them out. No. So I agree with America on these points, 100%. Yeah, if Europe wants to commit 10,000 soldiers, 100%. Let's put the Europeans who are whinging, like the Germans and the French. Oh, the French are really being cheeky to Trump. So the Frenchies and the Germans and the Belgians and the Dutch and the Danish and the Norwegians and the Swedes and the Italians. Do we really need that? Anyway, the Italians and the Spanish. Right, get your pocketbooks out. This is going to cost you money. Let's see how much Danish sovereignty is worth to you. We're putting 10,000 troops in. You put 10,000 troops in. We're spending $6 billion on weapon systems. You spend $6 billion on weapon systems, and everybody's happy. This is what I'm thinking, because Trump's into the art of the deal, isn't he? I think that's what he's thinking of doing. I think that's where he's going with this. I think so. I don't think he's serious about just invading and stealing somebody's country. That would change everything. That would change the whole world overnight. I don't think he's going to do that. But even this bluff that he said has shocked the life out of everybody. It's freaked people out big time, and then getting threatened with 25% sanctions. But I think that's what he's up to. I think he's doing the art of the deal thing. Let's pray. But yes, I agree with America. It's about time Europe paid their own way. If they're that scared that Russia's attacking them, spend some money. I would stop spending all these billions. Do you know Britain sends billions of pounds to India, the fastest growing economy in the world? Yes. And we're spending money all over the place. So does Germany, so does France. Let's just stop spending all that money on these people. Let's stop spending billions on the arts so we can have lesbians running about stages and doing all sorts of stuff. We spend billions every year supporting the arts. Why don't we spend billions every year in defence so we don't need to pounce off the American taxpayer? That's what I say. You know, because I get it, folks. I get it. I think it's disgraceful that British and French and Germans have got their hand in the pocket of the American taxpayer. No, I wouldn't have allowed it to go this far, to be quite honest with you. It should have been 30 years ago. They used to say, stump up or you're on your own. If I was an American, that's what I'd have said. Stump up or you're on your own. But you can't get about stealing people's countries. It's not on. It's not cool. It's not cool. So let's see what we've got here. Okay. Let's see now what we got. Donald has go for the full nationalist approach. Yep, defying NATO. Yeah, absolutely. It's just crazy. It's a mad thing. John says it's about time European nations. Yes, absolutely. Yes, they should take these things more seriously, John. You're quite right. We already have a base in Greenland, but it maybe needs to be a lot bigger. The problem is that, like, some of the big war in Europe, absolutely, they might be friends, but almost all these governments are controlled by lefty nut jobs. They certainly are for the moment, but I would say the next 5 years you're going to see big changes in Europe. Big changes, big changes. The Europeans have sent 34. I know. I can't even read it. John Kovacs said the Europeans just sent 34 troops and a second dog. I know. And I think, who was it? Some country sent one guy and then he was only there for a few days and left. Don't know if he wasn't well or somebody thought the Americans were coming to get him. Yeah, so hopefully there's got to be a deal to be made. NATO is a joke. They're a total joke. They're complete. I would disband NATO tomorrow. It's utterly useless. Yeah, it's a political thing. It's for fun. I mean, the money gets spent on NATO, nothing gets really done. But I hope now you see with the Greenland thing, and I agree, Greenland is a problem. The West, America, needs to secure that place, or else that could be used because it's too close to America and Canada for comfort. But can you see it from a Russian point of view? We have thrown all the weapons in at Ukraine before Putin invaded, and he thought, I can't have this next to me. It's too dangerous, so he invaded Ukraine. Do you understand? That's what the Ukraine war is about. The Ukraine war is about the West encroaching upon Russia. And Russia done the only thing they could do is try and knock Ukraine out and tell the West, I ain't having this. Greenland's the exact same. So I believe it's right for the West to have a huge military presence in Greenland to save anybody else getting it. And I also think the Russians are quite right to make sure they secure Ukraine so it cannot be used as a launching pad against them. So we're all right, but it's just how we get there. Now, I hope there isn't a war because the government, just wait to hear this. I thought at 60, I'm safe from military service. No. The British government have announced that in a state of call-up, when we're probably bringing back national service in this country and calling up people, wait for it, calling up people up until the age of 65 years old. I'm 61. So that means the next 4 years, I'm living in terror that I could get called up by the British Army. Are you joking? Are you being serious? I mean, I still think I can rock it up with folk, but I'm 61. I know, really, I think so, but it's not going to happen. I'd last about 30 seconds wrestling with some big, horrible Rusky or a wee Chinese man. We soldier about 19-year-old. They'd eat me for breakfast. If I didn't get them in the first 25 seconds, I'm done. Don't have the stamina. But this is what they're talking about in this country. This is how ludicrous this country is. This is how ludicrous Europe is. Calling up 65-year-old men. Utterly ridiculous. And they made a statement the other day that they're going to try and get a European army, wait for it, of 800,000 people. Where are these 800,000 people? I don't even know if there is 800,000 teenage lads in Europe. This is a farce. It's farcical. So in one regard, I think it's good what Trump's doing because it's bringing everything ahead. I think he would have done it much better. Because remember, we're very nervous in Europe because we lived for centuries, where one country invading another and one country try to steal another country. So we're very sensitive about that kind of stuff. But I think it's going to bring it all ahead, and that's only a good thing. But NATO, I'd tell them, when they start paying their way, then they've got a seat at the table. If you're not paying your way, you don't have a seat at the table. That's fair enough with me, I think. So that's it. Snowflakes. Yeah, absolutely. NATO does the deep state's dirty tricks. They did Bosnian wars and all the rest of it. That's going to kick off again, you know, in the Kosovo and all that. Wool socks. If they call you, Jim. John, if they call me, I'm no going. I'm telling you, I'll be a conscientious objector unless I got a wee job of guarding the statue in Cumber Square. I could do that possibly. March round the square overnight and have a wee flask of tea and just make sure there's no Russians or Chinese folk dropping out the sky. I could possibly manage that, but that's it. 65. Can you imagine being called up at 65 years old? It's absolutely insane. But anyway, that's the world we live in. So let's hope the Donald is doing the art of the deal and he's just throwing a hand grenade into the middle of the room, which he does do, and just watching everybody scatter. Then he'll come up with a negotiation thing. It's an unorthodox negotiation tactic, but it might work. It might work. Let's have a look. Okay. So talk about fighting men. Talk about fighting men here in Ireland. Well, I feel sorry for the Irish. I mean, God bless them. God bless the Irish. But, you know, 1/3 of every single person walking about in Ireland today, not the north, I'm talking about the south, 1/3 of every person walking about the other day is foreign born. A third. Ireland's the fastest changing country demographically anywhere in the world. It's unbelievable. But the Irish aren't daft. Let me tell you something. And our good friend Niall McConnell is doing a great job. He's out every single day ranting, raving, and getting stuck into it. Try to stop the mosques getting built. Try to stop these centres where all these young men get put up in. They're building big housing estates. He's out every day doing that. And but the Irish aren't stupid, and they're getting really fed up now. So, you know, the blacks are very violent. The Africans that come in, they can be very violent. Everybody's frightened them, intimidated them, especially in the UK. That doesn't really wear in Ireland because there's one thing about the Irish. Okay, you can't name very many Irish inventors. No. Irish scientists, not really. Astrologists, not really. Botanists, not really. Singers, lots. Musicians, lots. Fighters, all of them. The Irish can do one thing and they can do one thing well. Fighting. They fought the English for 800 years. They fought us for 200 years, 300 years. They can fight. So here's a thing when you're a couple of big African bully boys, we're going to be battering everybody in the streets of Dublin until they ran into the wrong Irishman. Have a look at this.
Really? Oh, stop. Guys, I got the car to do.
Come on, faggots! Dreamers, come on! Faggots! Come on, we going! Where you going? Get bitch! My balls out here! Ireland! Yeah, faggots!
Oh.
That's me call a couple of mad Irishmen. Those black guys were big dudes, but I think they were just shocked with the sheer ferocity and lunacy of the mad Irish wee guys. Just wee guys. And they weren't fighters, you could tell that, but they were game. They were in amongst it. And the Africans thought, oh, no, I don't know about this. Maybe if 2 or 3 of their mates come were in trouble, so they disappeared. How you doing, folks? So God bless the Irish, and well done to them. But they're start raving mad Irish. When these guys weren't fighters, look at the size of these black guys. Let's see it again. Look at the build of these black guys. I mean, and these wee Irishmen went for them. Let's start raving mad. I love the Irish.
Really? Oh, stop. Guys, I got the car to do.
Come on, faggots! Dreamers, come on!
The famous battle cry, come on, faggots! Only in Ireland. But the Irish aren't frightened of these people, and that's the thing. And they're going to find it out soon enough. The Irish aren't a bit frightened of these people. Make no mistake about it. They're angry at the moment. But the Irish are very tolerant because they went to America and they went to Canada and they went to Britain and they went to Scotland. And they've been, you know, everybody took them in. They feel a kind of guilt that, oh, how can we complain about people coming here? That is going to run out. That goodwill is going to run out. And when that runs out, I'm telling you, of all the countries in the West who are rebelling against the immigrants, I'm telling you, the country that will explode first will be Ireland. It only takes a certain bit, then the Irish will say, where's them arms dumps? And they'll go and dig up the old weapons. And all hell break loose. That's a fact. That's guaranteed, 100%. So there we go. They should be on the Guinness ad. That'd be good, wouldn't it? That'd be good. Now, one of the brothers said the other day, you're going to see a page appearing soon. And it's Defense of the Persecuted page on the website, and because it's great, we're raising money for the Priory and all that's brilliant, and it's been all consuming, I know that, but we cannot neglect the other stuff. You know, the stuff that goes on in Kosovo, we're still doing stuff in Ukraine with kids through IMRI and all that, we're doing all that. But we've been approached recently with guys who are doing patrols in a Muslim-infested area in England, and they patrol basically at the school times in the morning, so when the girls are going to school, they patrol so they don't get molested, because this is real here. We've got 1 million girls gang raped by the Muslims. Got to say it like that. So these guys patrol the main street as the kids are going to school. Then they patrol them when they come out at night. And then later on, during the night time at the weekends, they patrol the city centre for women walking about so they don't get molested, because there is cars loads and gangs of these Muslims cruising looking for them. I know you might not believe that, but you know, do a bit of Googling about it and you'll see it. It's absolutely outrageous. I mean, these guys are sitting outside the schools. So there's a group of mainly ex-servicemen, ex-boxers, a couple of professional wrestlers. You'll like that, John. Big lumps, you know. Just normal, simple guys. No smart, not brainy, but not criminal. They want nothing to do with the Tommy stuff. They want nothing to do with all that garbage. They don't want anything to do with politics, to be quite honest with you. But they just want to defend their women folk in their own area. That's it. They're not talking about expanding all over the country. Just a group of 20 guys who want to do what they want to do in their area to keep their area. That's all they can do, because they're surrounded by hundreds of thousands of Muslims. So they need bulletproof vests. They need cameras. They need walkie-talkies. That's really about it. And we're going to try and help them with that. So there's going to be a page going up soon. We're going to try and help them with that. I'm still waiting on pricing and that. It'll not be a huge fortune, but these guys have no money at all. They're just normal guys, just normal, run-of-the-mill guys. And we're going to obviously talk to them and put them straight in a few things and make sure they don't get themselves into trouble. But we're going to be putting that persecution, a defence page for those who are persecuted amongst our people. That's going to be a thing that will encompass all of the stuff we do, like the Kosovo thing, the Ukraine thing, all the pro-life stuff, all the stuff that we don't really talk that much about for various reasons. Because if people know we are backing something like a pro-life group, then the pro-life group gets serious hassle here from the media, from the police, from all sorts, because they're associated with us. So there's a lot of things we don't talk about, we keep in the background. So there's going to be a page, we roughly brief things of what we do. Just so you know we're active in that. But the street guys, they're fine. We're going to do a video with that and maybe get the guy on the show and all that. So keep that in mind. That's coming up soon. So, because we need to do that. So there we go. There we go. We need to keep the thing going. Now, this is a nice, interesting thing. Now, this is in Portugal. There's a lot of different folk go to it. I don't know if I showed you this before, but I think it's really good. And I think if I haven't showed you good, if I have, we'll have another look at it. This is in Tomar, Portugal. We have a big timber festival every year. We don't really go to it because there's a lot of weirdos there and oddballs and people who are, we call this Gnostics and non-Christians, and there's gay people and that. We're not into that. But it looks good. So have a wee look at this. Impressive, that, isn't it? Really impressive. See, we don't really get involved with these guys because we can't vouch for them all. We don't know who they are or what they're doing and all the rest of it. So we don't really know. But very impressive and a good thing. I think I did show it the other week there, but anyway, I know somebody liked it. I think Ken liked it especially, so that's for you. It's fun. Yeah, it's very good. Watched it before. I thought it was you, Ken. It was you said, oh, that's awesome. It really is. It's fantastic. But we'll wait and see. Let's have a wee look at this. One. What am I doing here? Yeah, keep pressing the wrong thing here. Wait a minute. Yeah, ice. I want to talk to you about ice briefly. The ice thing in America is really dramatic. It's quite awesome, in my opinion. Now, this again is frightening the life out of the lefties and the liberals in Europe. They're having a meltdown. They think America's been taken over by a crossbreed between Benito Mussolini, General Franco, and Adolf Hitler. They just look at us with horror. I look at it every day and I think, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. These ICE guys are doing such a job, especially up in that Minneapolis. What a job they're doing. It's absolutely tremendous. But if you notice all the people that's screaming in the streets, it's nearly always white, middle-class, crazy women. Why is that? Has anybody got an explanation for that? You would expect it to be some crazy Mexican or South American gangbanger or some Jamaican drug dealer. No, it's white, middle-class women. Going mental, going crazy, losing their mind over this ICE thing. I don't understand it. And, you know, ICE is taking these bad people from their communities and they go, no, leave him here. The guy's a child rapist or something. Nah, he's all right, leave him. I mean, there's a madness going on. There's a form of lunacy engulfing these people. But I think ICE are marvellous. And I'm sure all you guys are the same. And if you know anybody who's involved with ICE, pass them on our regards. And, you know, we're talking about this all week. We're actually thinking of doing something like a special Templar Award for ICE members. So if you know any ICE members, let us know, because I think we should be giving a lot of these guys some wee medals or something, because I think they're doing brilliant, to be quite honest with you. Roddle says, believe one of the people will join the Templars after finished, was that? Serving the army. Young people, so something. What's this loyalist flute band? What's that? Andy, I think it was. The Hispanic countries in Europe have some great processions. In Spain, they really have. But you have to go a long way to beat a good old-fashioned loyalist flute band. Absolutely. The parades here in Northern Ireland are fantastic. They're just absolutely breathtaking, aren't they? They're stunning. But that's what we do. That's what we do here. And it really is. It's a stunning thing. It's a stunning thing to behold. Yeah, I'm going to get this wee clip I got on here. This was from Christmas. And this is, we've seen a similar clip. It's not the same clip, but a similar clip. Now, a lot of people wrongly say that these are Christians in the Holy Land in Jerusalem. Oh, by the way, today, the Israeli IDF have surrounded the church in the Nativity in Bethlehem in the West Bank, and they're storming it as we speak. Being stormed. Did you know that? Being stormed right now as we speak. The church in the Nativity is being stormed in Bethlehem. It's unbelievable. But anyway, these Christians who live in East Jerusalem, whatnot, they play the bagpipes. And I seen a guy comment the other day, one of these online folks saying, they learned the bagpipes when the British were there under the British mandate. That's nonsense. Bagpipes don't come from Scotland. Did you know that? Did you know that? Do you know where bagpipes come from? We've got two illiterates in this office. Do you know? Or do you know? Sammy knows. Who? Where? Oh, you must have heard me telling you. Bagpipes actually come from Syria and were brought by the Roman soldiers into Europe and into the Romans never really got on very well in Scotland. We built this big wall called Hadrian's Wall. They built a big wall called Hadrian's Wall to keep the Scots out. Even they didn't like us. But anyway, the bagpipes came with the Roman legionnaires, and they came to Britain with the bagpipes. So that's where the Scots got them from. We must have, some of the Romans that went over Hadrian's Wall and tried to conquer us, didn't succeed. We must have grabbed their bagpipes. So these people didn't learn the bagpipes from the British Mandate times in Palestine. They learned them thousands of years ago. They learned them long before the Scots. So here are Christians parading through Jerusalem, through the Christian area and the Muslim area. Funny enough, they don't get parading through the Jewish area, but the Muslims let them parade through their area. And here we are. And I think it's wonderful to see this. And just think of the pressure these people are under. You know, sometimes we think we're under pressure. We don't know we're living. You think of the pressure that these poor folk have got to put with day in and day out. Incredible. And they still keep a smile on their face. Have a wee look at this. Now, I think that is quite fantastic just absolutely amazing to see these folk and so many young people, the young people marching with a pipe band. That was at Christmas there. I don't know what they are. Are they Orthodox? John Kobasaki might know. Are they Palestinian Christians? Are they some kind of Orthodox or the Catholic? I'm not sure what they are. And I know the Catholic, Oriental Catholics are different from Roman Catholics. I don't understand it all. Like, it's very confusing. Alba go bra. You better believe it. Alba go bra every day. Now, that's how they play the pipes. We quick snip of this, how the pipes, in my opinion, should be played. Now, I don't know about you, and I don't want to say anything about our brethren in the Holy Land and in the sacred city of Jerusalem, but what do you think was the best, the Jerusalem pipers or the Scottish pipers, the Scottish band or the Christian Palestinian band? I know what one I prefer. There you go. It's fantastic, isn't it, to see our Christian. And this is, I think, sometimes we get a wee bit silly in the West, don't we? Sometimes we think the Christians consist of just us. No. You've got to remember there's Christians all across this planet. And the chap that we bought those doors off, you remember the big oak doors the wee guy gave us? He worked for St. Vincent, the Society for St. Vincent de Paul, very ancient and venerable Roman Catholic charity. He said to me, I'm going to be to Papua New Guinea this week. That's why I wanted to sell them quick. And I thought, he's old. He's a bit mad. He was a wee bit mad. He was some kind of German guy, but I thought he was quite mad. I mean, he's eccentric. Okay, let's say he's eccentric. I thought, Sure enough, 3 days later, I start getting all these videos coming through. He's in the jungle with these people. They're butt naked. He's in the jungle with them. And he's praying with them. And they're Christian. Some of these folk have literally got big sticks through their noses. I'm not joking you. And he's in the huts with them, and there's all smoke everywhere. And one minute he's in County Down with me in a shed. We're buying doors off him from St. Vincent de Paul. And a few days later, maybe 4 days, 5 days later, he's sending me videos from Papua New Guinea in the jungle with these tribesmen. And he was saying he's got a bit of a problem there, so keep the wee man in prayer, please. There was a war going on there, a localized tribal war going on. They were all firing arrows at each other. They don't really have guns. They were all firing arrows at each other. They're quite vicious, headhunters and all that. So he was in amongst them all. And he's sending me videos all the time. And they're all butt naked. And he's no butt naked. He's wandering about with shirt on and everything, Good German man. But, I mean, this is incredible. So there's Christians everywhere. And they're even in the middle of Jerusalem, which we sometimes think, don't know about that. There's Christians there. There's Christians in Bethlehem. As I said, the Church of the Nativity is under attack right now from soldiers. But there's Christian people everywhere, all over the world. And we need to be aware of that and broaden it out. And just because you're a Protestant, don't just be interested in Protestant Christians. Or because you're a Catholic, just don't be interested in Catholic Christians or Orthodox. You're only interested in Orthodox Christians. We're all God's children. Do you understand? We're all part of the ecclesia. We're all part of the body of Christ. So it's important that worldwide we look out for our people. Because let me tell you, the Muslims don't have any of that kind of stuff. The Muslims, oh dear, can you believe it? Yeah. If you're a Muslim, you're a Muslim. And it should be the same with us. If you're a Christian, you're a Christian. Now, if I can say that, and I live in the most divided Christian country on the planet. I live in Ireland, the island of Ireland, where we've been fighting each other at a standstill for centuries. I'm done with it. I'm just done with it. We need to be one. Simple as that. Now, I'm not saying you need to compromise your beliefs. If you're a Roman Catholic, be a Roman Catholic. If you're a Baptist, be a Baptist. If you're Orthodox, be an Orthodox. But we need to be one. And the only organization that I know that can do that successfully is the Knights Templars. Yes, there's good groups like the Knights of St. Columbus. We know many. We've actually got many members of the Knights of St. Columbus, even at very, very high-ranked members, especially in Europe, Poland, some very high-ranked members. Knights of St. Columbus, fantastic. On the Protestant side, we've got the Orange Men and whatnot. Some of them are fantastic. But they are purely for that one particular domination, purely for this one particular domination. The Templars are the only organisation that I know has managed to encompass everybody harmoniously. I'm not aware of any of us ever having a big theological row, ever. We're not here for that. We're here to defend God's kingdom and to promote his cause and to defend his people. That's it. Leave all the theology stuff to the boffins, to the people with the big heads, the monks and the scholars. Leave it all to them. Let them fight over it. Who cares? So, Tom says the Scots were better. I agree with you. Yes. Yes, we must find a way to lead. We must lead all the time, and that's what we are. And as I said to you, there will be a page going up soon. It was an idea given to me by a brother, and I thought that's a good idea because we do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, as I said, that we can't talk too much about. I mean, there's 2 pro-life groups we help constantly, but we just done a mail in there the other day for them. We can't publicly and say, oh, we're doing this for this pro-life group. Because that pro-life group would have cameras outside their door. The people who run it would be tortured by the media here. This is vicious country. 300,000 abortions last year. It's ridiculous. So we've got to keep that kind of quiet. There's another pro-life group. We do stuff who do counselling. We've got to keep that quiet. There's through Brother Imre, there's an adoption organisation that we help out. That used to work out our offices in Budapest. And this is one of the biggest adoption agencies in all of Hungary. And it's our guy that runs it. So there's a lot of stuff we do that we can't bring attention to because some of them get government funding and different things. So they cannot be seen to be associated with us, which is fine. We're not here for glory. We're here to get the job done. So there's all that stuff we do. And of course, there's the Kosovo, there's the Ukraine, there's various other things. There was a big drive on Christmas for toys and cuddly things. And that was done with some of our lads in Carpathia, Transcarpathia. But as I said to you, there's a group right now in England, and we want to help them so we can set a template so other local groups can do this. Now, these guys, they go to church and all the rest of it, but they're big, big, strong young fellas. You know, they're big, no guys you want to mess with. But they're patrolling their district now because we kids going to the local Church of England or Roman Catholic schools have got to be guarded going to school and got to be guarded coming back from school. I'm not joking you. There's carloads of Muslims sitting because this whole place is it's like 80% Muslim. So any white Christian kids that are going about, they're not even white. Some of these wee Christian kids are Africans and whatnot. They're being pursued by these people aggressively. And it's the same, Russia, when people are coming home from their work, the women coming off the trains and off the buses at the bus station, they've got to walk through a mob of Muslims to try and get home. So these guys go out and patrol. Now, they'll just get yellow vests on and they're down there and they're making sure everyone's okay and they've not had any problem because people are like, oh. And the police, they're quite supportive, but can't be seen to be quite supportive. But like to these guys, they've got nothing. They need body-worn cameras, 100%, so they can record everything that's been said and done. Keeps them right with the law. There's no matter of time for that because the MPs will demand the law do something about them. But remember, we've got Jewish police forces in this country that patrol the areas in London. So if they can have it, why can't our people not have it? And these guys work for nothing. So we want to give them ballistic vests. We want to give them the ballistic vests, the wee clips on them so they can put their body-worn cameras on it and walkie-talkies so they can, keep in contact with each other and maybe a central command point. Myself, Nick, whatever, we're going to see these guys and train them up on the legal side and do a lot of work with them. But we're going to be doing a funder for these guys. I don't think I'm waiting on the prices coming back, but we can get used ballistic vests, ex-police ones, believe it or not, so we've got the wee clips on them for all the cameras in them. So it won't be tens of thousands, but a few grand. But we can get these guys kitted out. We can get some photos of them. We can get some videos. We might even go out and patrol with them. I might even go out and patrol with them. Yes, I might go out with them. Because these guys don't really care about bad publicity. But they maybe say that now, but they maybe don't know what they're in store for. Anyway, these are the things we're going to do. So we're going to be putting a page up, defending the faith, or defending those who suffer persecution. We're going to be doing that soon. We're just working on it now, but we'll be doing that, and that'll be the page where you can donate to. Nothing to do with the building fund. Nothing to do with the building fund. Nothing to do with that. But for stuff that's out with, because we can sometimes get focused on one thing and we forget the core reason. Yes, we need to get our house done. Yes, it's an important thing. But our core thing is defending God's people, defending the young, the weak, the helpless, the widows, the women. That's our job. So if these guys are doing it, I think we should go on with it. So in the next couple of weeks, I might go to England, have a look at them, and bring them over here, then we can have them on the show and whatnot and see how we go on. But that's what we're doing. So there we go. So I'll leave it to you. I think it's a great idea. And that's it. So we're cracking on. Remember, we're cracking on. Look at that. That's the insulation getting in for the dressing rooms that are next to the en-suites. That's the floor down there. There was a more updated floor one. Where's the more updated floor one? Is this it? Oh, aye. That's that. So look at the difference. That was that floor just a few days ago, right? That was that floor a few days ago. So it's a concrete floor, but I don't like concrete. That's the dining room. That's the ladies' room. Remember, we're going to make it our ladies' room. That's the ladies' room. I don't like concrete floors. So I says, look, we've got this lumber, which was reused from another part of the house. So we say we can put that down. So we've put that down with damp proofing under it. And that was only a few days ago. And there we are now. So that's the big straps that you've seen. Now we're going across the way. So we've got 3x2 in the floor, 4x2 in the floor. And now here's 4x2 going across the way. And then that'll be strapped to, and that'll be a nice, a nice wooden floor where you sit at the dining room. We've measured out, the dining room's about 16 feet by 9. It's much the same size as the dining room in my house, a wee bit bigger, but you can comfortably sit 12 men around that table. 12 men can comfortably have dinner at that table. If you're squeezing them in, you could probably get 16 if you pushed it. And over in that far wall there, at the very wall there, we're going to knock a chamber out of there. We're putting a big fireplace. I've got the fireplace here. I've had it for several years. I got that. We're going to put the fireplace in here. We need to buy the stove, which is not so easy. I've got a guy who I know trying to get us a second-hand one. I'm going to push that out so it can sit flush with the wall there. So we'll have a real fire in the dining room, and the cross is on the other wall. If you remember right, there it's there. That's the other side. That's you looking at the other side. So there we go. I think it's going to be wonderful. And I need to thank everybody who's went that extra mile to make this happen. And some people have really given, like, you've no idea. I don't want to mention names because it embarrasses people. And other folk are just given what the Lord has provided them, no matter what it is. Never despise a widow's mite. But they have been faithful and plodded into this for a long time. And we're getting there, folks. We really are. We're getting there. Praise God in the highest. He's really touched people's hearts, and we've got a momentum on here, and we're getting this done. We've got the piping in, and we should have the funds soon to buy it. We're going to get the boiler. But again, I fight and haggle everything. For everything. We spent a whole day yesterday negotiating prices on all the bathroom because there's 5 en-suites in this house. So all the shower cubicles and the bases, and you've no idea what goes in, and you put a shower and you've got to tank it out. You've no idea. I had no idea. It's a nightmare. But every single thing has been fought over. It's not a matter of theirs, they'll just buy it. No. I speak to every single supplier and fight with them and say, this is for a Templar house. Is that the best you can do? So for an example, we got toilets, toilets, small ones so they could fit in the en-suites, and the cheapest we could get them for, we were getting quoted, it was £130. It's about $170, but we ended up getting them for £89, which is about $110. Doesn't sound a lot. When you're getting 5 or 6 of them, it adds up, and it's no matter that. It shows diligence. I would do it with my own money, so therefore I must do it even better with your money. Simple as that. I fight. People say to me sometimes, Jim, give it a rest, just buy the thing. No. As Mr. Trump says, the art's in the deal. Whether you're dealing to save $200 or you're dealing to save 200 million, doesn't matter. The principle is the same and the brain works the same. And if you train yourself into doing that, you'll do it with everything. And that's good stewardship. Okay. Right, folks. So I'm going to go and get you organised. I hope you like what you see there. But I wasn't going to, I was meant to be on it 4 today, but I had some problems. But I think most things are ironed out. It's just with some new software and everything getting introduced, and I didn't know how to work it, as usual. But we managed to get there. So thank you all very much for coming in. I was going to leave you with a tune. I don't know what the tune is. Where is it? Let's try and find some here. Because I don't have... this one I haven't played for ages, but it's my favourite, so I don't care. Jennifer Francis will be cracking up. She says, you're always playing that. I love it. It's one of my favourite tunes, to be quite honest with you. It's a hymn. It's a beautiful hymn. It's a Latin hymn. I don't know Latin very well. I know a bit of it. But you can get this on YouTube with the words, and the words are absolutely stunning. So I'll leave you with this in a wee minute. But until then, remember, I don't know what the schedule is this week because we're trying to do this new schedule because you'll be glad to know Mr. Griffin's making an appearance again. He's coming back now. Nick has got a lot of troubles at the moment. He's got a lot of serious legal stuff. They're really trying to cripple him. I'm not joking you. I don't want to get into it. If I see any person, I'll tell you, but he's really getting in the neck there, going after him like nobody's business. So, you know, he's going to make an appearance, and it'll probably be in a format just to keep a sort of safe distance for legal purposes. It'll be like a Nick Griffin show. So it won't officially be under the Templars. It'll be his own platform on pods, but blah, blah, blah. So he's coming back. He should be, if we don't get him back this week, he'll be back next week, folks. And I'm sure a lot of people were on to me. About Nick. Because, look, you know, I'm more an entertainer. I'm a serious analytical brain. Nick gives you that deep analytical stuff that only he can do. And he is the most successful right-wing politician in Europe, in Britain, maybe even Europe, over the last 40 years. So he's a man who's held high office. So we're very blessed to have him. So he'll be back soon, folks. Okay. So God bless you all. So I shall be back with you on Sunday. Well, I'll be back with you sometime point this week. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you Thursday. Okay. But until then, remember, stick close to God. You won't go far wrong. Do's Vault.